Flying saucers passing Roswell crash, debris field, Raimi memo half revealed. Project Sign, Project Grudge, Cold War skies, the radar buzz, Blue Book files locked away. Men in black say no one saw a thing today.
Watch closely as a different U.S. drone drops a Hellfire missile on that fast-moving orb. The missile appearing to bounce off the object.
Foo Fighters over World War II, Nazi discs, the rumors grew. Operation Paperclip, V2 rockets, secret ships, Maury Island fragments fall, Flatwoods monster standing tall. Every decade, every night, something strange is in the sky. We didn't stop the sightings, they've been in the heavens while the world keeps fighting. We didn't stop the sightings, no we didn't light it, but we're trying to find it.
That's not LNS though, is it? It's not. I do LNS, dude. But if there's a good thing, it's rotating.
Eddie Barney, missing time. Hills recall a bright white sign. Kecksburg Bell in Pennsylvania. Sheriff says it tried to change ya. Shag Harbor glowing gold. Halt at Rendlesham, forest cold. Ariel School, the kids all stare. They were here, they were really there. Brazil's barking, a creature found. Phoenix lights above the town. Bobblies are element quantite. Craft that jumped like in a dream. Skinwalker Ranch, dimension tears. Cattle vanish in the air. Something's humming out of view. Pilots whisper, yeah, we saw it too. We didn't start the sightings, they've been in the heavens while the world keeps fighting. We didn't start the sightings, no we didn't light it, but we're trying to find it.
Hey. Hello everybody and welcome to your Foes Around the World. So this live today is about Bill Wood and Project Looking Glass. However, I think it's important that I do a shout out to Nick Pope, who has just recently posted a... Let me read it out. I won't read it all out because I've done a video on that already, but basically, to sum it up, a while ago, following some digestive issues, I was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. Unfortunately, it's stage 4 and has metastasized to my liver. While I know that it's kindness and hope that leads people to suggest healers and supposed miracle cures, and to say things like, fight it, you can beat it, I'm afraid my diagnosis and my situation leave no doubt whatsoever I can't beat it. That was posted a couple of hours ago by Nick Pope. Now, Nick Pope is a prominent figure in the UFO world, has been prominent for years, he's from the UK, worked for the Ministry of Defence. It's just very sad news. I hope he can beat it. I hope something comes out, some miracle cure. We don't like to see it on anybody. So, yeah, get well soon, Nick. And if not, and if we don't see you again, thank you for your dedication to this topic. You've helped me immensely over the years. I've spoken to you and you've helped me with my research. So yeah, that's all I can really say in it really. So I just hope a miracle happens and you get well soon. So that's the sad bit over with. Hopefully you will get better. So we're going to go straight into this one now. So one of my followers earlier on said we want to watch Bill Thingy, sorry. And we're going to watch this one because I've not seen this one.
Is there anything you would like to say or address about that?
Some interesting events that people may not be aware of happened the day of the interview. Number one, I received some panic communications from David Wilcox. That
for people that don't know what this is, Project Looking Glass, they basically can see into the future. They can manipulate time. They can manipulate the future. Like they're trying to he's going to go into it, I think, in this. I'm assuming he is, where he speaks about they're trying to bring about end times. That's what a thumbnail means. It's not a clickbait thing. It's actually this is what some of them are trying to do. They're trying to either bring about end times or manipulate in some way. So it should be interesting. I haven't seen this exact interview. I watched the Project Camelot one, which was recommended to me. However, I thought I'm going to go with this one because I've not seen it. And I've seen comments saying this gave more information in such a short space of time, which is an hour and a bit. The other one's 2.5 hours.
Carrie was in great distress about my involvement with lightworkers.org. I think you should know of them. They're based out of Australia as well, and somebody I've been working with for quite some time. I've also worked with many other groups, or still continue to work with many other groups, Anonymous, the Occupy movement.
Just a quick question: is he dead?
And very soon, hopefully, if I can get my name above board, I'll be working with the Thrive movement as well, all of which are wonderful, wonderful groups of people. And all of them have one thing in common. They're actually doing something to help change the world and not really sitting back on the sidelines and bitching about things, I guess is the easiest way to say it. I got some information right before David contacted me that suggested that my interview was compromised and that I would not be getting a fair shake, so to speak. And then I was also contacted by David Wilcock and was informed that Carrie was contacting him and freaking out about my involvement with lightworkers.org. As I am very much a spiritual person, in the sense that I do believe that that humanity has a chance and does have what it takes to evolve their consciousness and to be able to get past this illusion that we all live in and see things for what they are instead of what we see on TV and the media and the news. I decided to do the interview anyway. I can disclose this, that there was an incident back in 2009 with an interview that she did with Pete Peterson. He basically, when he did that interview with her, and you can pull it up on Camelot, when he did that interview with her, she was asked ahead of time not to discuss certain subjects. And he was very distressed that those subjects were brought up and asked that interview never be released. It was instead posted and has been a sense of consternation between what I would say are the white hats or the oath keepers. And
big shout out to Red Wave, who's just come out of the closet. Well done, Red Wave. We're proud of you, bro.
Project Camelot.
Okay, Bill, before you go on, I'm sure you can appreciate that I don't want to get in between any drama that you've got going with Camelot.
Oh, then we shouldn't bring this up at all.
Then that's between you and them. I was more addressing the viewers, actually, when it came to the backlash. It seemed like people weren't as supportive of what you were trying to say, at least in the first hour and a half, than you may have hoped. And I think that personally,
where I am and the people that are protecting me, that she also limited the scope of the interview and gave me a bunch of parameters that I was not allowed to talk about. And it was very frustrating that I was asked to talk about those things during the interview, even though I made it clear that I did not want to discuss them. And yet I was not allowed to bring up the subjects that I wanted to discuss because the scope of the interview was limited by Carrie. So it was very frustrating for me that I wasn't allowed to talk about the true things that I wanted to talk about because she didn't see the sense in them or was afraid that she would get into some areas of spirituality that she doesn't want to deal with, even though I believe that's honestly, it's part of the truth about what's happening is that there is a sense of spirituality in what's happening right now, and the fact that we're being led to believe.
Now, at the time, they wouldn't have been understanding this, and now with what we're experiencing now in this world, it fits.
That I know what everybody wanted. Let's put it that way. I know everybody wanted to hear me say, where to go get in the black limousines so they could be driven to the UFOs and put in their ascension machines and life would be perfect. Unfortunately, that is not reality. What is reality is that there is truth out there, and that the ends of those means are possible, but it's not that simple. There is free will involved and choice, and we do have to accept that we have a certain level of responsibility in this evolutionary process of ours and the ascension of our consciousness, and only then can we join our galactic brothers and sisters in a level of understanding that will make it so when we leave this planet, we don't run off and destroy everything in the galaxy just as we're destroying everything in the Earth.
Well, it's the spiritual side of things that I want to focus on today anyway. So this is your opportunity to do that.
Excellent.
I want to start though by recapping. That's what I didn't talk about. Okay. Well, I want to start by actually trying to recap what I understand Looking Glass is and the information that it gave you based on what I've heard you talk about so far, right? So Looking Glass is a technology that's been used at least since the 60s. Would that be right?
Since before I was born, I guarantee it.
Okay. Now, you did suggest on Saturday that using this device to look into the future may not have actually been its primary purpose, but it's what it was being used for.
And I believe I know basically.
No, wasn't through the Looking Glass. Didn't they come across that by accident, and it was actually used for something else? I can't remember off the top of my head. There was some other reason, and they ended up coming across. Oh well, we can actually fucking see into the future with this. I can't remember the actual original thing.
What its primary purpose was, one of the subjects that of spirituality that nobody wanted to get into.
What up, Heiser? How we doing, bro?
If somebody of a higher level of consciousness were to use this machine, I think that it would be much more in tune for, in one statement, to talk to God or divine consciousness or commune with God. Certainly, it's a little hard to understand for third density people, and if we were given this tool, it would be impossible for us to use it properly because you can't be self-deceptive and still be able to understand how important a tool this would be to people of a higher density.
I don't think. Could you go back in time with Project Look at? I think it's the future. I think they could only go forward.
Now, realize that all I was given ultimately was data.
That's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to just clarify. That you never used the device yourself. What you were given, I think it was the late 90s, was it not?
It was 98. So
right.
Yeah.
So you were given the data that had been collected.
No, you've not missed a lot. So just started. So someone recommended this morning when I was live to put Bill Wood on. Now, I know who Bill Wood is, and I looked into it. The one that he recommended was Project Camelot. Now, that's been hoard out on a lot of things. So I thought I'd watch this one because looking at the comments, this one gives a lot more information, goes into the reptilian stuff as well, apparently, and it gives it in a better... And I think he fell out. I didn't know that, but he just fell out with Camelot, it looks like, in the beginning of this interview. So I thought I'd try this one because I think if you've seen Bill Wood stuff, this is probably one you've not seen. And I'd rather watch something I've not seen and you've not seen together. And if you've not heard about the sad news about Nick Pope, he's not dead, but he's very, very ill, and he's at stage 4 of esophageal cancer. And on his post on X, you can read that. I did read it a little bit earlier on, and I have done a TikTok video on it.
Collected from all of the people over the years who had used the device to look into the future, and you were asked to research that and use
Correct.
your own intuitive abilities to
Correct.
either come up with an alternative conclusion to what the data
No.
was suggesting.
That was the only thing I was asked to do, is come up with if I could come up with any alternative theories. Because the data that I was giving all led to one point. There was no alternative theories.
In terms of how it worked, the image that I have is that, say you're in 1967 and you want to see into 1987, that what you're seeing is possibly an unlimited number.
I will stop it, and if that annoys you too much, because I do want to read the comments and stuff. I'm not into super chat. Feel free to send me super chats if you want to donate to my cause, but I don't feel like people should have to send super chats to get the comments read out. And people are saying I don't think we understand time. That's true. The only reason we don't understand time is because of our teachings. From a child, we are taught what time is, and it's only when you come out of school and you start to do your own research where you start to try and understand. And it's so hard to try and break away from that status quo that's in your head of what's actually going on. And that's why we're having all this. I think that's why we've got a lot of worldwide depression at the minute, because the world is changing. I'm from the UK, and if you're from the UK is not the same anymore. It's not the same as it was, 15 years ago. It's a total different country. We're not even being heard. It feels like we're being shit on, and the country's just depressed, and we're seeing it worldwide, and we're just being fed negative stuff all the time. And this stuff with the Epstein, fuck me. Honestly, if this is slow disclosure and it's ontological shock and catastrophic disclosure, we are on the brink of some. We'll look back at this in a couple of years from now and say, wow, this was the beginning of a catastrophic disclosure. It's not just about kicking doors and bases in, looking at UFOs, potentially bodies, screaming children, tied up, chained up, wherever they are and stuff like that. It goes dark.
Timelines into 1987.
Correct.
And that they
You do see
Yeah,
an
feel free to
unlimited
spam
one,
that chat with
but the
prayers
more
for Nick
possible
Pope.
futures are more prominent. They come through more easily, I guess, is the easiest way to say it.
does this just spit out data in the form of numbers like a computer, or does it produce images?
It produces interlaced images.
So it is kind of like watching a movie, a holographic movie or something.
It would be like watching a movie that's imposed with every other movie ever created, and you have to use a computer basically to figure out which images go where, put them together, and then you've got every movie ever created. But the only one you want to watch is one.
So when you say, okay,
Very complicated stuff.
so when you say one timeline is stronger or comes through clearer, does that mean the images are just clearer for that?
They spend more time. They get more video time, I guess, is the easiest way to explain it.
Okay. Did they then have the ability to insert information about hypothetical events and say, okay, if we put this person in as president, or if this particular natural disaster happens, and then see the consequences of that?
That is exactly what they do. I don't know if that's what they're supposed to do.
The topic is Project Looking Glass, and this is Bill Wood. It's an interview I've not seen before, so I don't actually know what he's going to go into. We'll sort of know what he will speak about, but apparently this is more informative than the Project Camelot interview that he had, and it looks like he's fell out with them. And we want to know about, apparently he mentioned about end times, or we are trying to cause our own end times, or change the future of the destiny of planet Earth and stuff like that. So it's interesting. Let's hope they're not linked to these perverts that are connected to the Epstein stuff, because that's probably why they think they can get away with this kind of shit, because they can just wipe the timeline.
But that's what they did, yes.
Okay. So here we are, say 1967. We're looking into the future. We see unlimited.
Oh, did anybody else
possibilities,
notice today with Iran? They were burning that Baal statue. Oh, coincidence? Why are they just attacking that Baal? I didn't even know they had a Baal statue in Iran. They're attacking Baal.
The closer we get to 2012, the number of possibilities narrows and narrows and narrows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is correct.
And
And
then,
you see less and less images that are interlaced together. It's very distinct.
I see. So then, no matter which timeline you're on, you get to 2012 and there's a wall,
And there's a wall.
regardless
And
of the
there,
timeline.
regardless of the timelines. And the timelines, as you get closer to this date, um, contract or converge into less and less timelines until the information that I got, we got down to 2. And it's very, very hard to understand how that would happen. And the only way that it can easily be explained is once you touch a hot stove and you burn yourself, you understand that you don't touch the hot stove anymore, and you just don't do it anymore. That's how free will and choice works. If you get burned, you won't go back there. Well, eventually we learn enough through our own free will decision.
I was muted, wasn't I? Bastard. So, do you think these 2012... Wait, did you hear me then, or was I muted? I don't know if I've just had a brain fart. Was I actually speaking then a minute ago? I don't know if I've just muted it or muted it. Oh, you know what? I don't even know.
Decision making in duality to
think I've
know
just
that the
time
eventual
slipped.
conclusion of duality is to go back to that seminal Adam and Eve event where the knowledge of good and evil was chosen. And
What I was trying to get at was, I was old enough to... right, your mic's on. So, 2012, I remember it well. Year 2000, I remember that well. There was planes coming, falling from the sky and stuff. None of it happened. None of it happened in 2012. Nibiru, blah, none of it happened. Could it be that it was just cutting it down to a narrow two left? There were 2 left, and we're picking that. And that's what it is, and that's why they couldn't see past. And you got people now saying we can't see past 2027, or we can't see past 2032. They seem to change that end goal, don't they?
we just, figure out what would have happened if Eve would have put the apple down and said, no thanks, I'll just keep going with perfection as it is. It's a little tough to, summarize in a quick little interview, but that's the evolution of consciousness. The understanding that duality is an illusion that we've created to teach ourselves the experiences that we need to understand how to transcend duality.
So this event that you kept, or this wall, there was no way of seeing beyond that.
It's the lack of time at that point. And it's tough to understand what that means.
Yes, from this perspective, it is. So,
yes.
when you went into this, were you told that this event in 2012 corresponds with, say, the crossing of the galactic equator? Were you told anything like that, or is it just we keep hitting a wall? Can you see if we can find a way to not hit the wall?
The crossing of the galactic plane of...
I can definitely do a Project Serpo watch along. I'm going to be doing a lot more lives alongside my videos. So I post a video. I've been live 3 times now over the last 24 hours. I want to be more engaging, more lives. And you make it worth it. So when you come and sit with me and do this, it doesn't matter if you're busy, put it on the TV, put it in your ears, just listen. You don't have to comment all the time. Just listen to it, interact, and always come back to it after it's uploaded. It uploads instantly. I don't ever do the editing. I just let it upload as it is, so you can instantly comment on the video, and it just helps the algorithm and get people to see it. I don't like talking too much on it and over parts because people moan, "Oh, you're talking, but I can't hear it." But the point of a live is to have a discussion about it, right?
Our solar system crossing the galactic plane is a well-known event. If you're a physicist or a scientist, you study this. It's not a secret like it is to the rest of the world. So no, I've known about that event, man, for,
You've
since I
previous to
I,
that.
I yes, I mean, got to spend a lot of time with very, very smart people in the military, and got to learn a lot about, let's just call it stuff.
Well, anybody who's into astrology, anybody who's following the main calendar, anybody who's studied any of the ancient or astrotheology, anything like that, they are also aware of crossing this galactic
Oh yeah,
plane.
I mean,
So it's
it,
not
the,
it's
the
not just the
knowledge is
scientific realm. Yeah.
right, but in the scientific realm, it's just as huge as it is to everybody else in all the other realms, because the scientists are looking at it from, the problematic possibilities of what happens. There's a lot of energy that's getting blasted into the sun right now, and we see that effect. And they've been thinking about that for many, many years.
So now that we've gotten down to these two timelines, when did that kind of kick in? When did we really just get down to two, or have we yet?
We haven't. No. We're still in the millions and billions of possibilities.
That's a great question. Why are they keeping this a secret? Like, look, sometimes you've got to put the power in your own hands, right? So if I said to you right now, let's say Timer or Tronic or whatever, I said, right, this is everything. You've got anti-gravity. You've got the answers to everything, right? You can change the world overnight. Here's the key. Would you release it? I wouldn't, because the world's not right. The world's full of muppets. It's full of empty heads. We're seeing it now. You just go on a news channel. You got people, stupid, ridiculous things doing to each other, killing each other. Now, imagine you've got something that can look into the future and stuff like that. How dangerous would that be? How dangerous would that be? Then I can understand why they keep that under lock and key. The thing is, are the people that are in control and have this key, are they going to get a power trip? Are they going to feel so fucking powerful that they can do whatever they want? And that's the worry. That we can't do anything about that. If they want to do whatever they want, they can do it. They can do it. They could wipe us all out. That's the worry. Who are in fucking control of it? And you can't help but worry about that, because look at the world
right now.
But are the variations in those minute? Are they?
Some are. Some cataclysmic events that could have happened have passed not happening. So some very big timelines have ended. Many suggestions have been given. I would offer that one that would be on everybody's awareness was YU-55, and there being a timeline where that asteroid struck the Earth right where NASA said it was going to.
Okay.
And something prevented that and moved the timelines ahead. And I certainly know that the technology exists for us to have changed that. Certainly, if you can use magnetic resonance theory to make a craft propel itself through
20k by Easter. It'll be nice, won't it? But I'm not putting any timeline on anything. But I'm putting a lot more effort into my YouTube channel, and I hope you notice in that.
the air.
I give up with TikTok. 260,000 followers on there, and I feel sorry for them because I've sort of just give up because that app is shit.
Space, you can push against an asteroid and change its trajectory quite easily. It's just what we don't know about in our technology level currently.
I know this is possibly speculation, but do you believe that there are, or do you know that there are both, we'll call them white hats and black hats, I guess, within within the military,
Sorry,
within these black ops above top secret departments? Are there both camps using the same technology, with access to the same technology, and actually kind of against one another?
Yeah. I mean, for all intents and purposes, there is a war going on in America that nobody knows about.
Is it
It's
just
not
within America,
it's
though?
not a shooting war. No, I think it's throughout the world. But
What was that? What someone said? Is it the advance? What's that with Matt Damon and Emily Blunt? I watched it. The advanced secrecy. Oh, I watched it the other day, where they were going in and out of doors. The hat guys. They were going into dimensions and stuff. And someone said that is kind of what's actually going on. And the hat guy, whatever he's called, is that his name? The Hatter. There's some elements of truth to that film. What's that? What's the name of it? Bureaucracy or something? I can't remember.
I definitely know the military perspective from it, and there's a lot of people.
The Adjustment Bureau. So simple. Yes, that film. Some truth to that, apparently.
Are now
That's why I
aware
watched it.
of the technology that I'm discussing. That back then it was a small number of people that knew about this technology. And so anybody that is participating in this, I can't say what I know, but I can certainly exercise my free will and try to make it go one way or the other. There's people trying to create the end of the world, and there's people preparing for the end of the world and, surviving it. The people that are preparing for the end of the world know about it and are trying to prevent it would be called the white hats. The people in favor of ending the world and covering up the mistakes of the elites and the politicians are what you say the black hats. The people that are stuck in the middle, that's pretty much 99% of the population.
Yeah.
We don't have any choice in what's going on.
But we do, don't we, by exercising our free will for a better future?
That is what I'm trying to get people to understand.
No, I think people are really getting that message. When it comes
I
to
do
the
too.
positive timeline, were you able to see, or do you remember any specific events that would be seen as negative that we're still going to have to endure, even if the positive timeline comes off?
The possibility always exists that we don't have to endure a negative circumstance to affect the change to timeline 1. I don't know how to put it any other way.
I think I do,
yes,
because this is actually
there
getting
are
quite esoteric.
1,000 cataclysmic possibilities, and we have avoided every one of them to date. Every one of them. Some people would say that's a miracle. I would say it's fate.
You touched on something on Saturday, which I don't know, twigged something with me because of conversations that I've had recently, and that was
Yeah.
in the sense
All
of
doing that.
yeah. How can I put it?
Do you know what amazes me? Like I'm researching this for 27 years, right? And then you see some of these interviews like this. These people had no idea at the time how important these interviews will be 10, 20 years later. And they weren't even looked at. They probably didn't get a lot of views on the video and stuff. It's insane. Like some of the archive interviews that will get played now on new podcasts and stuff like that and used. I know Polarity uses a lot of stuff as well. He's like me. He likes to use a lot of this stuff. It's just a treasure trove. And if you know what you're looking for, you can find some absolute belters. And I found some belters, and there's some belters already up on my channel.
The creation and I think you talked about it in terms of paradox, but you were saying that out of the negative events, it's when we get into that negative or when we get into the darkness that we balance it back into the light. So what you just said then reminded me of that, in that we may not need a negative event to bounce from into the positive. So because
Oh, that's a good question, that. If you could go to the past, what is one event you would change or interfere with? I'd have to, if there was only one event I could change, I'd have to really think about that. I can't just give you an on-the-spot decision there. Maybe I'll get you an answer by the end of the live.
it's only through cataclysm and change and hardship that we go with light. I want more, I want hope, and yeah, all of that. Okay.
the reality is we need balance.
Balance.
We don't need extreme positive or extreme negative to affect this change in consciousness or this evolution in consciousness. What we're trying to achieve is no more dualities. So the absence of the positive and the negative, to where there is
Hold on, how did Heiser find you, Skywatch? Are you friends or something?
only balance.
What do you
And
think World War
people-
III with Iran is all about then? Do you think that's pure propaganda in order to just drag us into a place of panic and fear? Or do you actually think they're going to try and pull it off?
Okay, this is one thing that I touched on that I got as close to it as I could during the interview without saying it. I gave a website during the interview, and Kerry commented on it. Oh, that's the Russian scientist. Yes. If Iran produced and was ready to reveal this level of technology that everybody in America would go, hey, 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 if Iran has it, that means we have it. And if they had, you know, the ability to show off this technology, it would be really, really, really bad for America. So what do? We lie, just like we always do. We paint the weapons of mass destruction label on it and say, we're going to blow it up. That's what we're blowing up.
So let's say they've been tampering with time and moving timelines and things, and the planet is as it is now. What the fuck have they been doing? What is the goal of that they were trying to achieve here? It's not a good one, is it?
What
There's
technology
no nuclear
specifically?
weapons. UFO, ET technology, things that we wouldn't even come close to understanding because it's been suppressed for more than half a century. So we look at it as this technology that doesn't exist except for, you know, what space aliens would give us. Yet Nikola Tesla was pioneering this technology in the very beginning of the 1900s. It's impossible to believe that this evolution of technology just stopped in 1970.
No. Well, I think even Nikola Tesla said that he got some of his information from a friend from the stars or some such thing.
And more that seems to have been happening, because what I'm learning
Sounds
about
like people
free
been getting
energy and this
downloads.
technology is that people all over the world that have never met, and if you've seen Thrive, Foster Gamble backs this up, are inventing technology. But none of them have ever had any contact with each other, yet they're creating the same technology.
Yeah, what happened in 2017? That's when the UFO topic started to get real big, sort of for people, the Coronation Street watchers, like to say, getting into it. Just an update as well. I did a video not long ago before I did this live, an update on Bob Lazar. It looks like the movie's coming out in March, and also updates with the S4 and also why he's not been at Congress. So if you're interested in that information, make sure you watch my Bob Lazar video after the live.
Technology in dozens of different places all over the world. There's something to that. If people are evolving their consciousness to such a level that they are given these revelations about how to create this technology.
And just to remind people that have just come in, Nick Pope has stage 4 esophageal cancer, and it's not looking good. He did a post on X, so just to update people on that. So any prayers, stuff like that, stick it in the comments.
If you don't call it divine, I don't know what else you can call it. If it's talking telepathically to space aliens, then that's what it is. If it's communing with your higher self, and your higher self communes with other higher selves that aren't of this planet, then that's what it is. I'm not going to pretend to understand it. I'm only going to say that it's easily demonstrated that dozens of people throughout the world, because of my investigations, are creating virtually the same level of advanced technology that would blow people's minds.
Now, there's a lot coming out now about about Tesla and what he did and what he was capable of doing and what he claimed he could do. And that's not going to stay secret for very much longer. I just want to ask you another question about the timelines. If we call timeline 1 the positive and timeline...
Yeah, I reckon, just going off what this, I think Leonardo da Vinci got down, I reckon if you went through history and you looked at the people that really created change on this planet, you could probably maybe have a guess at which ones were possibly getting downloads and stuff like that, and which ones are possibly getting downloads now in this day and age. Now, who could be getting downloads now in this day and age? Could it be Elon? There's something that happened to him in South Africa apparently when he was a child and stuff like that. But I think it's harder now to spot anyone that's potentially getting downloads now than in the past. You got the Teslas and stuff like that. They were probably getting downloads, and some artists and authors just needed to write and paint and do things to benefit the planet in some little way.
To the negative.
Correct.
In timeline 1, we hit this wall, humanity awakens, and those that are in what we call the elite, they karma catches up with them basically, and they pay the price. In time,
And let me suggest that karma should catch up with them way before the end of time. I don't want to say the end of time because that scares the hell out of people. But before we eliminate timeline 2, I believe that the elite's wheel of karma will come around to such a point that they have to pay. They need time to pay for their karma before that process is ended. So yes.
so we would be looking at something like that in the next few months to start.
Man, I would hope so. That's what I'm trying to
No, but it looks like it's happening now.
push for happening, because it's all about free will.
So in timeline 2, they find a way around the wall, and they get to implement what we've come to call Prison Planet, and just keep on keeping on, getting away with it all, and then the one world order is fulfilled. Is that
Essentially, basically in timeline 2, to my best understanding, is the world splits into 2 groups.
Steve-O from Jackass reckons... Who are you? Anyway, Skywatch. I know I've added you to the thing and stuff. Let me just... Skywatch. Skywatch signal. I am following you. Let me click the notification bell, which you all should do for me, by the way. Or click notification bell. I don't see any of your stuff, so I've clicked that, so hopefully I'll start seeing more of your stuff.
The elites and the people in the know go underground and stay underground for the rest of time. But, I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And there's a group that survives, much smaller, on the surface of the planet. And they go on in a much different way, but duality never ceases to exist. I'm sure.
No, I'm sure he is. That's why I don't know him that well, but I've picked him to be a mod for me. I like most of these that are in here, actually. I recognise you from other podcasts where you're in the comment sections. I know you've all got an interest in this topic. We've got no idiots. We've got legit ones in it, and that's what I'd rather a few legit ones than millions of fucking muppets. I really would.
Sure, they're given another opportunity 26,000 years later, and everybody's allowed to get off the third density, roller coaster eventually. But certainly the evidence that I've seen suggests that there is a reality that does exist that is not our reality that has this happen.
an alternative reality?
Basically. And right now there's many alternative realities based on the infinite number of possibilities and free will being exercised. It's very complicated. String theory. It's all string theory. I could point you to the physicists.
Yeah, I do have a WhatsApp group. I do have a Discord. If you want to join the Discord, just message me and stuff like that. I don't think any of the admins are in here, but if you've got the link, just put it in the comment section, join the Discord.
That could tell you all about it, and they would.
I'm looking for moderators for Discord as well, so if you want to get active, it's got over 800 people in there. If you want to help me keep it active, feel free. I'll make you a mod, and we can work stuff out. It's not really about me; it's about just creating a community in there.
Lose you in about 5 seconds, but
It's full of stuff. It's got all the gateway tapes, all the telepathy tapes, loads of shit on there already. I've had it about a year now. It's about a year, people. I think it's about a year, maybe a bit longer, just.
yes.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, you're familiar with David Icke's work.
Love David Icke. He's
Okay.
one of my favorites.
So, from his perspective, the very top of the pyramid of this elite hierarchy are fourth dimensional reptilians, right? So I don't know whether you've had any experience with that in your official capacity.
I have a real.
No, not Will Wood. Nick Pope has cancer, stage 4 cancer. He did a post. On X. It's been shared about. If you're on X and you've not seen it, where have you been? But yeah, it's very sad news. And even he says nothing's. It's over. Basically, he's give up. It's gone. So yeah, just prayers really. I like Nick Pope. I've spoken to Nick Pope. And he's such a nice guy, and he's been such a prominent figure for the UFO topic. And probably the last year we're going to see him, and we're not going to see him again, I don't think, as regards to any interviews or anything like that. Maybe ones that he's just managed to finish off, but other than that, that's Nick Pope done and dusted, unless a miracle happens.
Really easy way of defining it. There's many words that are used to do that. But as we progress into the
I'll try and get me link now. One sec.
fourth density, there becomes an existence that has unconditional love, or the absence of fear, or lack of duality. But then there's a choice in between that level as well, and it's service to self and service to others. The reptilians, I would call the service to self people. Yes.
But this is
so
going to sound like a really convoluted esoteric question.
That's okay. I'm good at those.
Okay. This is getting back to the point we were on before about the darkness kind of being a necessary catalyst to bring in the light, and that if it's the darkness, or if it's the beings of dark, or the beings of negativity, or the beings of service to self, if it's actually their objective to lose.
That Discord link should work,
what
folks.
I mean by that is create darkness in order for the light to come in, so that the light ultimately wins. They win by losing. Does that make sense?
Yes and no.
If it's your objective to lose the game, then you win by losing the game.
What I will do, I learnt this off Polarity actually. I'll get a barcode and I'll put it on the screen. So then if you want to join my Discord, you just scan it with your phone, it should take you to it. I just need to work out how to do that. I'm getting better with my editing and stuff like that. So I'll get a barcode on the screen, so I don't have to keep giving it out. You just scan it with your phone and it'll take you straight to my Discord.
It's very easy to see it that way, and I'll explain.
But there's more to the question.
Right. If you don't know what darkness is,
Yes.
then you have no understanding of light.
Exactly.
Light just is. If there is no night, you have no day. If there is no black, you have no white. If you don't understand the opposites in the game, then you can't understand this reason for duality. And yes, even the reptilians understand a lack of duality. They understand unconditional love. They live by it. But they do enjoy the fact that we do give our power to them if we choose to. And we choose to when they understand this concept of duality way better than us, so they're able to instill fear to cause us to basically enslave ourselves. And they also understand that that we are evolving, that this will eventually come to an end, which is why it's permitted or allowed, or a certain level of letting us exercise our free will without interference of the higher dimensions can exist. Do they take advantage of the rules? Yeah, they take advantage of the rules, but they understand they're part of the solution. Yes, they see their role.
Do you think that they ultimately have an investment in timeline one coming off as well, and that it's purely the human element here that's at the top that has the investment in timeline two?
If you could put it any better way, I don't know how. That was a beautiful explanation.
Oh, okay.
Is they
Thank
do
you.
have an investment of our evolution, just as every other member of this galaxy does.
That is okay. That's confirmation for me on a personal level. So that's good.
It's tough to understand, but you understand it, so that's really cool.
You alluded to something on Saturday, which I want to make sure I understood because it was a bit of a paradox
Okay.
that, or creates one anyway, that in more recent times for you, there's a theory floating around that the reason you specifically were brought in to do this work and to study this data was that they believed, whoever was in charge, that you were going to play a part in this.
Well, if you believe in what David Icke says, to answer your question there, Timar, because of the loosh, they feed off the loosh and stuff like that, the negative energy, and they want to put us in that state of fear, depression, stress, anxiety. They want to keep us that way. Listen, I'm feeling it all the time. Don't know about you. I think anybody that researches the UFO topic, if you're not depressed or stressed out with the world in some way, the deeper you go into this, you're not researching right. The more you look into this, when you go outside, you don't enjoy the beach anymore. You don't enjoy the countryside anymore because you see through it. You like seeing through a veil. And I've noticed that as the years have gone on, I'm losing touch with reality because I don't think the reality we're seeing is real.
A catalyzing event that
Yeah, thank you, mate. I seen it. It came up on my mobile phone.
precipitates the awakening.
Correct.
Correct. The paradox is, by bringing you in and giving you access to the information, they've given you something to then come out with.
They unknowingly created a paradox, yes. And by
It's the sort of thing that does your head in every time you watch a time travel film. It's like,
okay, let me
Welcome
make
across
it
the pond.
easy because it's easy to understand, and you've already.
Is that
done
Lee
it,
or his
but,
friend?
I'll just simplify it. What the lesson of the looking glass is every time you create a negative paradox to try and change things, you also created its opposite, and it's a concept of holodynamics. Vern's a very good teacher of that. But by trying to create a reality that doesn't exist, you also create the solution inherently to that paradox. When you create a negative, its positive will exist somewhere in time and space in the same density. It's hard for the people in charge with all the money to understand this concept because they're very selfish and self-serving and just demand results without understanding reality. I think everybody can understand that.
yep.
And so, yes, it's kind of funny that inherently, by doing what they've done, they continue to create the paradox that eliminates that eventuality. And this is what scientists pointed out to them over and over and over and over and over again, and why it comes down to just timeline one, because every
A question I always ask, right, is going back from when I was a child. So when I left school in 2002, right? The education system's not changed. No. My youngest daughter's 3, right? My oldest is 19. I've seen it. Nothing's changed. Surely the educational system should change in this country or just around the world. It just seems like we're stuck in this never-ending cycle.
Smart PhD, way crazy smarter than me, told them the same thing. You can't prevent fate. You can't prevent the end of this lesson.
Heiser is a good mod for what? Discord or YouTube or both? Isn't he one for polarity and aren't he one for vetted? I've seen Heiser in vetted, and I've seen him in polarity stuff. So I know he follows at least one good channel. Polarity, I like polarity. Vetted's okay as well. It's just not vetted's different to my channel. It's more of a news channel. Polarity is very similar to me. I would suggest me and him are very similar in the way we do things and like to speak. Both, yeah. Well, listen, you don't have to ask me twice. If he wants to be a moderator, he can be a moderator. Where is he? Has he fucked off? He's invetted. So he's not one for polarity, but he's invetted. If he wants to do a mod for me, he can do.
Called duality from its eventual conclusion, which is that we understand.
Patrick will be coming on hopefully soon because I messaged him on X a while back and I asked him about the psionics, saying, can I get an interview with you about your psionics and stuff? And he went, yeah. He's up for it close to the time. That was just before Christmas, so depending on when it's coming out, you should expect Patrick on the show. So maybe a month before it, I don't know. Could be next month, but whenever he's releasing it. I did ask him on X. He's not replied. He's replied to my DM where chats. James Fox messaged me today. We're going to sort a date out for that, but there is one here with. Where is it? I'm defo down for an interview, but not till next year, closer to when the doc comes out. If that's cool, I won't be doing anything till then, but definitely happy to do it. So yeah, so that's that.
The purpose of
So I'm not
duality
lying.
is to teach us unconditional love, that we are all made of the same energy, the same divine information. I want to use the right word that's easiest to understand for everyone, not just for the spiritual people. We are created of the same information. And there is something out there that has all the information.
Yeah, if you want mod and mod, just let me know. If you want to do it for my Discord, let me know. I need people that are going to be use the Discord as if it's your own, basically. Pump it full of whatever information you want to pump it full. Just keep it busy. I just don't have the time. I work full time. A lot of podcasters that do this, right, that have the following that I have, do this full time. I don't. I work full time. I have a large TikTok. I have a large Facebook. I'm growing my YouTube. And this isn't a full-time job, and I am not going to see it as a full-time job. I'm still going to work and get off my ass. I don't want a full-time job. I want disclosure.
And because if you have all the information, you know best. And in knowing best, you know that your creations, if they are given their free will eventually learn what they need to learn to transcend a lack of understanding. And when that lack of understanding takes place, we don't go back. We achieve this knowledge that makes it so we can no longer deny the truth. We would never ever believe in weapons of mass destruction. Therefore, there would never be another Iraq. It's that kind of thing. That is a seminal lesson.
I've added you, Heiser.
We as Americans, not you guys, but we as Americans discovered concrete in, most people's memory that our government lies to us, and they will continue to lie to us. And now people are taking a look at the events of 9/11 and going, you know what? I don't believe that Building 7 fell down due to structural loss. And that's one of the things that I've been chastising ex-Navy SEALs about, is they're all demolition experts. Every one of us look at those videos and go, that ain't right. That shouldn't have happened. That's completely wrong. Buildings do not lose structural integrity throughout the building.
On my Discord, if you call out for Andrew, he's a moderator. Say you've spoke to Matt, and to make you mods, you need some more mods. He'll make you a mod for me. Andrew's like the genius for me, because I'm not really a Discord expert. I'll be honest with you.
All at once, unless
But he's got loads of good shit on there already.
somebody did it on purpose. So yeah, there's plenty of people out there that would just state, and there's plenty of information on documentary videos of demolitions experts from different countries that were shown Building 7 and not told what it was, and says, what is this? Oh, that's the demolition of a building. Do you know this is Building 7? You're kidding.
I actually last year on the anniversary had a conversation with several people, and it came out they didn't know anything about Building 7. What's Building 7? I nearly fell over. But
Well, a news reporter in the BBC didn't know that Building 7 was in a live shot right behind her when she...
I just missed this part then. So are they suggesting that Building 7 was on a different timeline, and that's why there's people that remember it and people that don't? I missed that part then. I was too busy reading whatever. Someone just got a notification there. Filming in the comments.
She announced its destruction.
yeah, 20 minutes before it came down. Yeah, I know.
Huge oops!
Yep. So
Yeah, lots of anomalies that I can point out, but until people start accepting reality, reality is what we define it as.
So what it sounds like in even a simpler language, is that timeline 1 is inevitable. It's part of the plan. It's the divine plan. And every time they tried to mess with it, all they actually did was strengthen it. That the opposite just went in and strengthened it.
The link that's pinned is broken, did you just say? It shouldn't be. That's a brand new link.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's difficult to accept that, there are realities out there that don't produce this lesson being learned. But from every indication that I get and see, and everything that I've seen in the last 10 years, the lessons that we are being taught lead up to this, divine transition where we understand that this world is not reality, that it is just as real as the dream world that we enter when we fall asleep. And it's simply a way of us learning a divine lesson. And when that divine lesson is achieved, we transcend into something that we really want to do.
So do you see this wall in December as a specific event on a specific day, or do you see it as a gradual thing that happens, well, that's been happening and will continue to happen until that time? I mean, why that day? I mean, is something magical going to happen on that day?
I don't think it's the day per se, but I do, from my understanding, see that it does occur around that time. And
so there is a moment.
Thank you for boosting the server, Phoenix. I appreciate that. I need to boost it myself, actually.
There is a moment.
Yes. And basically, when there's some correlation to the crossing of the galactic plane and the energies that are being introduced into the planet right now and into every being on the planet, and they are definitely making changes. And those changes are causing an evolutionary process to either speed up outrageously fast or are leading to an inevitable conclusion that we don't understand. And it's tough to get that we are going to learn so much in less than a year that we are going to be able to evolve our consciousness. But I think it's easy to...
Oh, right. I'll tell you what I'll do is after the live, I'll go onto my Discord and I'll work out how I can do the moderators, and I'll add some moderators So just put it in the chat, in the UFO chat, in the Discord, who's interested, and I'll sort it out for you. I'll get you in there. And just treat it as your own. Share whatever you want. There's no rules with my thing. You just, there's no rules. Just don't be a dick. That's it.
Also point out that in metaphor terms, caterpillars are consumers for a very long time. And I've been using the term caterpillars. We are caterpillars of information. We consume and consume and consume and consume until we get so bloated that we form this, we fall asleep and form this cocoon. And for a very short period of time, we stay in this cocoon, and then we burst out and turn into something else. I think the rest of the galaxy is kind of waiting to see what comes out of the cocoon, because like we know butterflies emerge from the cocoon. That's kind of the process that we're going through now. It is that kind of inevitability where everybody that's been through the butterfly process knows what happens, but we don't. We're going through it. We don't understand what's happening inside the cocoon. But I think everybody would also understand, if you use that metaphor to understand the way life is right now, that the forces of good and evil are really hammering away at each other right now. And
yeah, the reason I'm like that is, listen, the world's full at the minute. You can't say anything. You get arrested for something. Last thing I want is to put rules on people in a Discord and be like a mother to everybody saying you can't do this. Basically, just don't be a dick. Be nice to people. If you get a good bunch of lads and a good bunch of ladies and stuff like that, and you're sharing and you got the same goal, and people come in and start being a dick, as a unit, we take care of it and we remove the dickhead. That's it.
It does seem that there could easily be this eventuality where this balance is achieved, and we do understand that it's our own illusions that we're creating right now that lead us to believe that we aren't more powerful than we are. We give up our free will in order to believe in certain things that make us comfortable, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's who we are.
In terms of what you're recommending for people to do, or how to behave and how to think between now and the end of the year, to summarize that, it's basically to make your decisions based on what we said before, service to others perspective, to let go of fear.
Yep.
And every time we do that, we reinforce timeline 1.
Correct. Faster. Eventually, we are going to give up our fear, and we are going to be more service to others. Whatever negative events press us to that, it's going to happen. So if we just accept it now and start trying, like a person that's really overweight, if they can accept that the only way that they're going to fix the problem is to start eating better and exercising, they won't have to get any more out of shape before they make the decision. Now, everybody's like, well, what if you never make the decision? Overweight person faces the inevitable consequences and dies. Well, what if you can't die? There's no dying in this process. There is an evolutionary process that if one person dies, it doesn't end the evolutionary process. The process is always ongoing and always has been ongoing. We can't just stop the process. And again, that's what I learned in Looking Glass. It's a bunch of scientists looking at a spiritual problem and trying to convince people that there is no scientific answer.
Okay. So in terms of what happens between now and then, world events, were you able to see anything specific? I know you've talked about the idea that
Many things, yeah.
that new technologies will be brought out and so on. But what about, is there anything that people can look to as a confirmation that you know will happen because you saw it in Looking Glass and it was a really strong image and it's an inevitability, just as a sign You know, this is what I saw. This is what I believe is going to happen. That's confirmation we're on the right timeline.
Right. I pointed it out. Resource scarcity ceases to exist. The fact that we're dependent on petrochemicals is an illusion.
So you think that's actually going to come about this year?
Oh, it has to.
So it's not after the awakening. That's not something that happens afterwards. That's before.
No. This is a step in the process. This has to happen. Because resource scarcity is something that keeps us in fear and distracted. If you're too worried about earning a paycheck and getting enough money to provide the resources to...
Right, I've asked for Skywatch, Phoenix and Heiser to be mods. Andrew's going to do it for that. We need some females as well. We don't want it male, we don't want it a sausage fest. We want to have some females as moderators as well. So females, drop it in the chat on Discord and we'll add you in there as well.
Survive. You don't have time to take care of your spirituality. You don't have time to figure out the things that people are figuring out right now all over the world. But the elite are making things so bad that people are out of work. And when people are out of work, what are they doing with their time? Well, they're studying spirituality and they're coming up with these answers. And they're seeing that they do have the capability, even though times are really, really tough, aka the negative, that they have the ability to create the positive by having hope. And then they start to believe in hope, and then they start to create hope, and then good things happen in their lives, so they keep going. And after they get a job, they're not going to stop creating and believing in hope. So, they start to, figure out good things for humanity and blah, blah, blah. You can see how it goes. It's funny, but it's just an inevitable resistance towards polarity. And it is a balance that's being achieved. And I've tested this theory by going out and asking people if they would donate $1 to change the world. And you would be shocked at how many people are able to believe in change so much and to be guided to change so much, and yet...
Thanks for watching, and keep listening, you perv.
don't understand how such a simple act of free will changes things. It doesn't change my monetary condition, but it changes something in their mind where they say, I'm about changing the world. I think that can happen. Now that they believe that change the world can happen.
What other watch-alongs would you want me to do with... We're going to finish this one off. What other ones would you want me to cover?
They start creating it in their lives. And that radiates out to their families and their friends. And it's just going to pick up momentum like crazy now. So I can not only speak to, what I know from Looking Glass about it, I can speak to what I know about my scientific conclusions on it, and saying that there is a tremendous number of people throughout the world, not just America, but throughout the world, that are saying, you know what, I believe in change. I'm done with all this being in fear of a bunch of stuff that I've later figured out was bull. I was scared
the Occupy
of
movement's global. And
yes, that is a perfect example. When that happened, I was jumping up and cheering and saying, woo, timeline 1. It's happening. That is an evolution of consciousness. That is people standing up and saying, we're poor because you make us poor. We're poor because you create the money. Money is an illusion that you've gotten us to believe in. We shouldn't have money. We should have prosperity. Thrive is another perfect example of people waking up and seeing that. It spells it out how the illusion works with money and shows us how to change. And it is going like gangbusters right now, too. There's many, many examples out there throughout the world. If you get down to the individual level, free energy, there's tens of thousands of people out there that have created some device that is down the avenue of free energy that creates energy, water, food, transportation, and shelter without much time or inconvenience, and can be offered to the world very easily. That's
You've
going to continue to grow until it takes off on a global basis.
in America, you've got a presidential election coming up this year. From Looking Glass, is there anything you can say
Yeah,
about that?
I wouldn't. There's plenty of timelines that exist on who would be the president next.
Wasn't Hillary told she
Um,
was going to be in 2012?
yes, that is, uh, again, plenty of timelines still exist right now. Plenty of ways of getting to our inevitable destination exist still. To be able to sit down and say, I know that this person's going to be president, would be wrong, because I already know of events that somebody said knew took place, that the possibility was so outrageous that you would go to Vegas and put $1 million down on this bet, and it didn't happen. The small possibility of something else happening happened. And so I'm I've gotten done trying to understand, the path that's going to lead to the destination. I
But
only care
ultimately, the
about
path doesn't
destination.
matter. The destination is
Exactly.
inevitable.
That's exactly the point. Our destination is inevitable. We are trying to get somewhere.
What's the latest with Bill
The
Wood?
journey
I've not seen any of
is
his. Is he
the
dead
fun
or is he
part.
alive?
But the journey is what it is. We can take any path on our journey to the destination, but eventually we're going to be led to our destination because we're going to eliminate paths to our destination on our journey.
And we can make the journey or the path to our destination easier and easier
Operation Thrust Legion.
and
Let me
easier
take a look.
by constantly choosing love or choosing
Seemingly easier.
seemingly
or
easier.
seemingly harder. Certainly, it would be easily argued by me that I have chosen a very hard path, and that the consequences of my choices were hard. But my understanding of hard in this reality is that usually the hard path, the quote-unquote hard path, is the correct one. And that's done because people that understand the journey better know that if they can keep us running around on these paths that are easy but eventually lead back to the path that we need to take to get to our destination, it's going to take longer and it's going to be harder to get to our destination.
Understood.
But yes, if it's the
I'm not gonna lie, Phoenix. I don't actually know what Operation Thrust Legion is. I don't think, and I've just tried looking for it here. Oh, hold on a minute. It's got Richard Doty all over this, though, hasn't it? You've just seen, yeah, Doty was involved with that one, Matt. Yeah, that concerns me. I'll have a look into it.
theory of like a rich man. It's easier for a rich man to get to heaven than it is to pass a camel through the eye of a needle. We've been taught these things over and over and over again. Yet, in my life, when I gave up all of my material possessions in concentrating on this belief that I have that we could affect this positive change now, today, and that would make life for everybody much, much easier, it's been arduous. I mean, it's been hard for me. I'm not going to lie. I have many times questioned how much harder this journey would get before I found some relief. Well, now I've found the relief. Now I've got some good things going for me, and some real gifts are coming in my life that make my journey much easier. And I'm kind of trying to use that as an example to everybody else.
Oh, good. I'm glad things are looking up.
Just in case you missed last night's live, I did say we do have a Richard Doty interview up on my channel. There was multiple people that we did it with. We basically finished Richard Doty off on X. So, yeah. If you haven't seen that, watch it. It's a bit messy, interrupting people, but get over it. We was new to it, and we just dived on him, and we got him for 3 hours and a bit. And that's the famous interview where he says he was offered a job in disinformation by Lou Elizondo, and he didn't say no. He said hell no, and that went viral a month later on X, and he didn't recover, and he ended up coming off X. I did ask him about deathbed confession, stuff like that.
The easiest way to fight darkness is with light. And now that the situation is out in the open, and 250,000 people know about it, it would be very tough to do things and not have everybody understand or, give confirmation to anything. No knowledge of understanding. As soon as we start to understand more about ourselves,
so he's running a bit
and
slow
who we are, we will change our thinking. And when that thinking changes, we will change what we believe in. And that belief in ourselves is what will make it so we create a completely different world. And when we stop accepting what we know as information and start accepting that we don't know, and that we need to go out, we need to seek, we need to find and understand what is true knowledge, then the cup won't be full anymore, and we can actually fill it.
Once we accept that we don't know what we don't know.
But right now we're full glasses, and we need to understand that we need to empty ourselves a little bit so some real knowledge can be poured in. And to do that, we need to eliminate the knowledge that isn't true, the illusion. And more people are choosing to do that every day. If you see and hear what I see and hear, you see that it's going exponentially.
Absolutely.
And that it is inevitable that everybody at some point will accept that true knowledge is the only real knowledge. And the illusion that's created to fill our minds and keep us occupied and cause us to concern ourselves with things like, who won the Super Bowl and who's getting eliminated from Dancing with the Stars, isn't real knowledge, real information. It's something that has been created to occupy our thoughts and our minds so we don't get into real believing and real creating. And so if I could leave everybody with one
When this is finished, I will read through the Nick Pope post so everybody's aware of what's going on.
It's that I know for a fact we create what we believe. We have simply to only truly change our beliefs, and the world will bend around those beliefs, and the world will change. And
my favorite saying, you get what you expect.
That.
And if you change your expectation.
Yep. If you get that, just change your beliefs that fate brought. But at the same time, very difficult for some people.
So I'm going to leave it there on that because I don't think there's any. He's going to go on about repeating the same thing over and over again. I'll be honest with you, I've not seen this one before. I probably would not have picked it for the live, but it is what it is, and you've seen it with me. Right? And I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. I don't think it was that good. Thank you for sticking with me though on it. So let's do this. X.com. He's got interesting information, but there was a better interview. I don't think that was as good as the Project Camelot one. So, Nick Pope, people. So, a message from Nick Pope. A while ago, following some digestive issues, I was diagnosed with esophageal cancer, unfortunately stage 4, and has metastasized to my liver. While I know it's kindness and hope that leads people to suggest healers and supposed miracle cures and to say things like, fight it and you can beat it, I'm afraid my diagnosis and my situation leaves no doubt whatsoever I can't beat it. That's such a sad and brave thing to say at the same time. listen, I'm always, when you read some of these articles that go on these, it's like a parasite, right? You take this drug and it gets rid of the parasite, it starves it and it stops it growing. But I don't know. But people do. People have had worse and they've survived it, so don't give up, Nick. What an amazing adventure I've had. A 21-year career at the UK Ministry of Defence, where I got involved in subjects ranging from financial policy to counter-terrorism, from military policing to UAP. And I saved 6 cows. I really want to know what that means. It's a long story. The things I've done, the places I've been, the people I've met and the secrets I've been privy to, I wouldn't have swapped it for the world. And then a second career where my previous government UAP role brought me to the attention of the world's media, leading me to become a regular commentator on TV news shows and documentaries, as well as consulting and acting as spokesperson on various UFO and alien-themed movies, TV series and video games. The media called me the real Fox Mulder. I hope he sees disclosure before. Yeah, I hope so too as well, yeah. The true highlight, of course, is life with my wonderful, beautiful, incredible, smart wife, Elizabeth. She's a real-life Agent Scully, a scientist, a skeptic, and a redhead. We met randomly in the lobby bar of the Fairmont Hotel in downtown San Jose. She was an anthropology professor at San Jose State University in October 2010 and got married 3 months later. We applied successfully for my green card and she had me shipped over and imported to the US, where a new adventure began. As Elizabeth and I enjoyed wildlife watching on our wonderful home in Tuscan, desert hikes, film noir, true crime, country music, Sunday lunches with my in-laws, and much love and much more besides. Recently we had an amazing 1-year adventure in New York City, living 5 minutes from Times Square and having a wonderful view of the Empire State Building from our apartment window. We proofread each other's books and articles. I love commas, hyphens, exclamation points, way more than Elizabeth, and managed to win at least a few of those battles, and I'm supporting her in her ongoing fight for free speech, academic freedom, and keeping political correctness, superstition, and identity politics out of science and academia. The White House press secretary tweeted on her recent newspaper articles, which shows the huge impact she's having. I kept working for as long as I could, right up until last week. So he was working up till last week with my various film/TV interviews, conference appearances and live events, and including my position as moderator of Ancient Aliens Live, where I think I did 94 shows. Sadly, the time has come where I've had to step away from this work. So it doesn't look like we're going to see Nick Pope doing any new stuff now from now on. So any work he's done probably come out this year and that'll be the last. So we all should just share his work, get it out there. A lot of people have followed my work on UAP. I'm loath to use the word fans because I'm not a celebrity, but I am a public figure, and many people have followed me on my journey as I've sought to keep the UAP subject in the public eye. And to frame it as a defence, national security and safety for flight issue, as well as a fascinating science problem, some of this work has been public knowledge, but some such work of necessity has been done behind the scenes. I hope I've helped move the needle forward, but most people, of course, know me through my media interviews and live events. To everyone who's followed me on my journey, thank you and good luck with your own journeys. I wish you every success and happiness. It's all been amazing, and I'm grateful for the things I've done, not mournful for the things that I won't now get to do. Per Esper ad Astra, I don't know what that means. Nick Pope, Tuscan, Arizona, February the 12th, 2026. That is very sad news, very sad news. Just put some prayers in the comments, and like I said, Nick, if I don't see you again, mate, thank you for what you've done for the UFO topic, and you've helped me over the years in my research. And thank you for the replies when I've messaged you and stuff like that. It's a shame that I didn't actually get to talk to you on an interview, and it was just you was too busy with work and stuff. But yeah, good luck, mate. What was I looking at here now? He had to endure those spooks, which is impressive. Yeah, fuck, makes me choke. Yeah, making me choke too. Yeah, it's very brave. I don't know how I'd react to something like that. I think I'd just curl up and fucking. I'd curl up into. I just wouldn't want to know anybody. I really don't think I would. I don't think I could ever give up either. I think I'd have to always think there's some way. I don't care who tells me it's not going to work. I'd have to always try and fight it. Mark Christopher Lee's posted, so sorry to hear about Nick Pope, sending you and Elizabeth our prayers. Just wanted to say thank you for all the time and amazing insights into UFOs these past 20 years. You were the first person I'd ever interviewed about UFOs and Arsenal, and you were so kind to me. God bless. What's this? Evidence of NASA stitching the feed of Earth shown. Oh, okay. So
What is that?
What is that line?
Yeah, what is that line? Well, that looks like stitching to me. It looks like they've stitched together, and it crosses over there through that mountain range right there.
That is weird, whatever that is. But
So by your very example, I'm just saying that you have to have a certain amount of faith in that. And on the surface, mundus vult decipi.
Okay. You're freaking me out. Go back to that.
right. See if I can make this a little bit easier for us to see. One minute.
Jamie, so what is the explanation? Go back a little
Yeah,
bit.
what is the explanation of that line right there?
Right, but how weird is that? That is weird that there's this line.
Right,
that's
because
very
that
clear.
in itself is a composite image, a cartoon that has been put together for you to look at this apparent live imagery that is being taken. And
is this
Flat earthers are going to be all over that, aren't they? Flat earthers are going to be tugging on their little party sausages over that. Jordan Crowley, I teeter between fuck everyone and I love everyone about 100 times a day, yeah. Wish Nick Pope and his wife all the best. Yeah, everybody's sharing about it. News I don't like sharing. Everybody needs to send Nick some love so he can feel as Pavel. Tupacabra was sharing it. Stephen Greensheet shared it. Ashton Forbes was sharing it. Extremely saddened to hear this news. Nick Pope, one of the only UFO people not to judge me or the MH370. He always is dead nice, Nick Pope. I've never heard him say anything bad about anybody. That's one thing I can say about him. If I'm wrong, you find me a video where he's actually attacked somebody. He never, ever, ever has gone at anybody. Which is credit to the man. Get your butts in here and let's kick this off. I don't know. I tried doing it a UAP live in X last night as well, but I couldn't work it out on the OBS. Right, folks, I'm going to end it there. I'm probably going to be live tomorrow. If you haven't checked my last video, it's about Bob Lazar and the latest stuff on when it's going to be released and stuff like that. So please head on over there. Also, my daughter does a little cameo at the end. Please show some love. She fucks it up, but you know that's the way it is, isn't it? She had one chance, so now she's up to adoption. So, as always, keep your eyes to the skies, as the next story could be yours, and keep Nick Pope in your prayers. And hopefully a miracle happens and we do see him again, and we do see him for many, many, many more years. If not, thanks, Nick. That's all I've got to say on it. I'm going to end the stream by playing my fantastic song. Good night, folks.
Figure this one out. There's a third one. Oh, what do we got? Take a look at this.
Kenneth Arnold, lights flashing, 47 saucers passing, Roswell crash, debris field, Ramey memo half revealed, Project Sign, Project Grudge, Cold War skies, the radar buzz, Blue Book files locked away, Men in Black say no one saw a thing today.
Watch closely as a different U.S. drone drops a Hellfire missile on that fast-moving orb. The missile appearing to bounce off the object.
Foo Fighters over World War II, Nazi discs, the rumors grew. Operation Paperclip, V2 rockets, secret ships, Maury Island fragments fall, Flatwoods monster standing tall. Every decade, every night, something strange is in the sky. We didn't stop the sightings. They've been in the heavens while the world keeps fighting. Space Command.